All right, this is an emergency upload of sorts. The coach doesn't really have time to give it the proper attention because there's some information we got to get out as soon as possible. So we're gonna start and just try to cover everything, and then coach will tell you what the deal is, right? So we got our Brownies playing in London. Okay, that's interesting. Someone pointed out that the team where they're playing Tottenham, two teams that never win trophies, right? So they may have a similar curse to the Browns. They may be connected in some way, probably are. All right, man. I guess we're getting right into it. So, if you are ever in a situation where we are right now to where we're like guaranteed, you know what I mean? Like we got our money in as good as we could have gotten on Ohio State. Like we didn't get in preseason. We got in before the playoffs. Now the odds are so bad on Ohio State, you've got to put a complete freeze on all Ohio State bids. You don't put a single more ticket in that has Ohio State, assuming you did what you were supposed to do, right? So we are completely done buying Ohio State stock. We are now in the process of buying insurance. Coach does not believe in hedging. Buying insurance is different. You're one game away, right? We were in a 14-team tournament. Our team is in the final game. You would be a fucking fool to not put anything on Notre Dame. You need to ensure that no matter what, after this championship game, our other picks, Bucks, Stanford, Guardians, etc., are still, and especially the Commanders, that those bets are still live with a green check mark next to this round. We cannot survive after nailing Tyson right on the money and nailing John Jones right on the money, exact result. We cannot afford to have thrown those picks away and not get anything on the books right here. Putting insurance on Notre Dame, and if Notre Dame does win, us getting that pick, it is not a hedge. It is the equivalent of, gosh, I had a great analogy. It's the equivalent of kicking a field goal. Like, yeah, we could have gone for it on fourth down, right? Or whatever, maybe we could make it, but it's fourth down right now. And we have to kick the fucking field goal because we cannot afford to get out of this round with nothing. We've already thrown away two of the best bets we could have had on our slips, right? We had them, but they weren't with the right teams. They were with Lions, etc. Other people say, oh, those picks are still good. Not coach. We fucked up, right? We got to make that up. And that doesn't mean throwing a ton of money at Notre Dame. Put at least a few bets in. I would say 5 bets. At 50 cents a pop, $2.50 should do it. That's as much as I threw away on the Bills, right? $2.50, 5 bets a piece. Get it in Notre Dame, Commanders over Chiefs, Guardians, do another one. Notre Dame, Commanders over Chiefs, Bucks over Clippers, do another one. Guardians, Notre Dame, Bucks over Clippers. Try to do it with some to where you don't have to get the exact result, but they're not paying super great. So coach really thinks he nailed it. Like it's the in comparison to what we were going to be able to get before, like it's still, if you put any of the 4 together, like if you put Stanford on there and you got 3 more picks, there's no way they're taking that action. Stanford's odds are way too high, but so definitely make sure you have one with Notre Dame and Stanford with one of the 2 you feel best about, probably Guardians, right? But we can't be banking on Stanford. There's just too much. Now we got to cover Notre Dame versus Ohio State. Coach doesn't feel good at all. Not even a little bit, dude. This is crazy. Alrighty, so we need to flash back to when Coach first fired up the Hoosiers bandwagon. He kind of made a throwaway comment that's stuck in his head ever since, because it really was driving him crazy, and it hasn't stopped. All this time I've been looking for 86s. We do find quite a bit of them. They're certainly important. But what the fuck is with all the 87s? And sure enough, we don't get Penn State in the national championship. We don't get our 86. It's the number fucking 7 seed Notre Dame. We got 87 again, right? Now, is there anything to like 87 here? I mean, Ryan Day's got an 87 win percentage. 1890 though, that sounds like an 86 to me. We've got our 20. They won. We know that they won in 1942. So we love there's a flip of a magic number. There is a lot more to this. I genuinely believe that this matchup has been stacked to make it almost impossible to choose who's going to win it. But coach actually thinks it's Notre Dame. and I'll tell you why. Okay, so, so there's our 1886 trying to make the team, right? We know this is an 86 squad. They won in 68. It was the year that saved Ohio State football. They won in 57, just like Detroit, right? And coach isn't saying Ohio State is dead, but I'm saying Notre Dame scares the shit out of me, and I'm leaning towards Notre Dame at this point. And like I said, I'm going to tell you why. So there's a lot here, so like they open up the Rose Bowl beating Oregon in 57. Hayes wins Coach of the Year. They go on the Rose Bowl again. They get upset by Stanford. Right, so that's where we got these little connections here. And then look, they finished second behind Notre Dame in the AP rankings once, way back in the day. And then of course Art Schleister popping up there. Glenn Mason, coach thought that was interesting. Marcus Merrick. Now, Marcus Merrick was a Ohio State linebacker. Okay, he went to high school at Brookfield. And he played for Urban Meyer. Now, this is hard to really put into perspective how big of a connection this is without the New Dawn Ohio State book. But literally throughout the entire book, you see two things. One is North Dorm over and over again capitalized with the ND, as in Notre Dame, right? So that's feels obviously there's like some sort of connection here. But what's actually a bit more scary, what is it, the other thing they do? Oh, every person in like the history of Ohio State football that's important is from Urbana. So how interesting that Urban Meyer won a championship there, right? So Urbana, Urban Meyer. Now we got Gordon Gee, president. These are just stuff, Brown University and Ohio State. Coach thought that was interesting, like Ohio State Browns. Let's see. This is bad, dude. In 2013, right before they won their championship, Gee stepped down from the Ohio State presidency in 2013 after controversies about anti-Catholic comments allegedly made in jest about the University of Notre Dame. So I know that was a while ago, but I hope that's not hanging over us in some sort of bad way. So coach had to look up, he had to click on that anti-Catholicism. Like, yeah, right, okay. Catholophobia, right? So you have a phobia if you go. Coach has Catholophobia, right? It's just always hilarious. Now, this portrait, okay, 1876, that's an 87 and a 76 together. Okay, and it's about Catholics. Once again, not good for us. Okay. And, there's a Roger in here, there's a Cotton Mather, there's a bunch of interesting names like Cotton Mather. He went to Harvard. Let's see. Hutchinson, as an Aiden Hutchinson. Samuel Gorton. The Gortonians. Gortonites is a religious thing. Isn't that not surprising to us, but to most people? Old Schmuery. So, but basically, regardless, like, I do feel shaky about this pick. Do not get me wrong. It's not going to be getting in the Super Bowl, and I'm going to be feeling like, I wonder if it's Chiefs or the Commanders. And I know that for a fact because when it was Chiefs versus Niners last year, there wasn't even 1% of me that was worried it was the Niners. It's like, okay, let's pick a team I picked to lose the whole time. The perfect team to go under. Notre Dame is not the team I had picked to lose the whole time. I told you Indiana was on. Notre Dame has won a lot of fucking championships. That team is scary as fuck. I can't believe they're there. I wish to God that they had done some terrible stuff to children or something so I could just write them off, but they're not Penn State. So, we're where we're at. And so this is where it gets, this is some interesting stuff right here. So that old Schmuery, it burned down in the Great London Fire of 1666. Look at this building. How does that burn down? It's stone. So there you go. That's fucked. Master of the King's Music. Let's see what else we got. I didn't bother to underline. I should have. I gotta start doing that. And then we got Roger Williams there. Grammar school made me think of Graham. Also, like doing it for the gram. You sell drugs in grams. So coach thought that was interesting. Some master stuff. Master Lawrence Shetterton. Okay, he was one of the original translators of the KJV. Okay, and here's Richard Rogers. They don't know when this guy was born. Richard Rogers. This one is very interesting to coach. I need you to use your brain and try to figure out what's going on here. Okay, so you can see right there. It says he was born in 1550. that makes him 68 years old, but there might be something weird going on here. Now, I know it's Wikipedia and anybody can edit it. There can be typos, all that sort of stuff. But I see typos in like the New York Times, CBS, all that sort of stuff all the time. I can't remember like ever seeing a legitimate typo on Wikipedia, especially on a page like this where there's no dummies on it, right? This isn't something that some TikToker is going to click onto. This is for scholars, right? Educational types and bots to make up their fake stories, right? So Coach noticed, so it's like, so right there, he's like, oh, it was a 68, right? So he thought that was interesting. So we keep reading. And look how it's worded. Rogers died at Wethersfield on 68 April 1618. Is that not odd to you? Why wouldn't it say he died at 68 years old? Died at Wethersfield on 68 April 1618. First of all, it's you drop those ones like Coach always tells you, that's 68, baby. Right on the money. Okay? And then you got Ezekiel Rogers right there. But yeah, died on 68 April 1618. Maybe it's typo, but tell me you don't think it's weird. Like on a page like that. You got all these goofy sports personalities hardly anybody cares about. We go and it's never said some weird shit like that. But you go back to the 1600s, you start getting some weirdness. Thomas Allen, he wrote Spiritual Milk for Boston Babes. So Coach is going to buy this book for sure. Spiritual Milk for Boston Babes by John Cotton. Just sounds way too hard to not have in Coach's library. So, he's pals around the Thomas Hooker. And there's a lot of hookers and John Hooker. Look how many. It's a big prominent family. Look, J.P. Morgan among them. Hendon. Nice. Henry Clay Hooker. I believe Henry Ford's little name is Clay, if I remember correctly. Here's where it gets bad. Okay. Notre Dame's national titles. Okay, yeah, they don't have the 42 flip. What do they have? 100-year anniversary. And those hit. Like our Red Sox and plenty of other teams have taught us they like the 100-year anniversaries too. They don't always got to do the old flippy. So... Sorry, I gotta go to the second try to look. Is there anything I'm not seeing anything jump out as far as the numbers. Besides obviously the 100-year anniversary, but like there's none that like seem to add together. There's not like any fives. Maybe that's our saving grace. Look, out of all those championships, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. Keep in mind, our Lions have 4 championships, all have a 5. This team has 11 with 0. Not a 5 anywhere. Nowhere. They just, rioted up through the 40s, all the way to 49, and then boom, stopped dead in their tracks at 50. Can't pop up again until 66. The old Catholic trick. They taught you that. They like the 73 too for the Antichrist. And you got the 77 and the 88. It's like, yeah, there's some repeating. And you get some old stuff like that. But I'm going to say my Ohio State pick stands. I'm not taking Notre Dame. But I have to tell you that this is why Coach is concerned. Even if he wasn't concerned, you do not get into a position like this ever. You are never in the championship game where you've had money on a team from before the playoffs or before the season even starts, and you don't buy insurance right here. It's fool's errand. Coach has learned that lesson the hard way before. That lesson was Eagles versus Chiefs Super Bowl. My boy had all his money on the Eagles, and all he would have had to do was buy a little bit of insurance on the Chiefs for the game. No matter what, he would have been paid thousands of dollars, but he blew it, walked away with nothing, out $200. So we learned that lesson. You buy insurance here, but we can't buy the type of insurance we would as if we were getting paid right here. So you still have to really budget the bankroll. Keep in mind the other picks you're going to want to put in too, right? And of course, like Ohio State, Notre Dame, this isn't like the craziest odds ever. Like I said, you don't got to go crazy with the tickets, but we need something on the books with each of we want one to where it's like, okay, we only need 2 things to go right the rest of the way. Is it Stanford and the Bucks? Is it Stanford and the Guardians? Is it the Bucks and the Guardians? Is it the Commanders and the Bucks? Is it the Commanders and the Guardians? Is it the Commanders and Stanford? All those different combinations need to be with Notre Dame. Like right now, if you don't already have them in on Ohio State. Now, if you never put in Ohio State stuff, the insurance isn't going to do you as much good. You're kind of just probably better off trusting your gut at this point or just running it both ways. So they had some wins vacated, right? 2012 was vacated. They haven't got that. Man, I wonder if they need to get that back. And look, they got a rivalry with Stanford. They got a rivalry with Purdue. That's what I really hated on us is right there. It said rivalry with Penn State, right? But we're both rivals with Michigan. Is this in the enemy of my enemy is my friend type situation, or is this just rivalry by extension, right? So we're not done. We got more. So Tim Brown popped up. He had mentioned him recently. I can't remember exactly why he came up. It was very interesting, just a video or two ago. I was talking about Tim Brown, and I had no idea he even played for Notre Dame. Okay, I didn't know about the Buccaneers thing ever either. I knew about the Raiders. I knew there was a different Timmy Brown on the Eagles. Well, let's see. Look, inaugural season 1887. We've got 87 coding, dude. That's not good. 948 officials. Dude, they've had 22 undefeated seasons, including 12 perfect. What's the difference between perfect and undefeated? Oh, no ties. Gotcha. And then, oh my God. Yeah, I'm switching to Notre Dame right here, right now. This isn't good, dude. Gip died at 25. We also need Notre Dame getting back on at some point because we've got Indiana reigniting the game, the matchup with them in the 2030s, sometime in the next 5 years. Would be really nice. Maybe it's next year. It's technically like the 2025 season. But I'm thinking 100-year anniversary of 2024 sounds right. It's in 2025. It's the Gipper, dude. We're going against the Gipper. I mean, Ryan Day is on the hot seat, all that sort of stuff. We do have a bunch of stuff. I fucking hate Notre Dame. Like, as much as I hate the Yankees. It's like the team I'd least want to go with ever. But, I mean, dude, the Gipper died at 25, and it's the 100th year anniversary, and this team needs it. And they're not the favorite. We know we don't usually like favorites in this type of situation. So, there's just a lot. But either way, we're good, as long as we get it in the other way. Fighting the sneeze. Alrighty. Oh, fuck. Okay, sorry, trying not to sneeze. 4 horsemen. They've got Don Miller, Jim Crowley, among others. They got a victory over Stanford in the Rose Bowl. Don Midnight Miller, that's a great nickname, right? Also an MM name. He's from Defiance, Ohio. There's a movie called The Prize Winner of Defiance, Ohio. That's really good. Like, if you want to look at, like, people in the club, that sort of stuff, or, like, how their bullshit works. Like, they try to tell you, like, these sweepstakes were so booming, and they used to, like, give people all this shit, right? We know that was all rigged, and nobody was getting shit. Coach thought this was interesting, though. So he coached at Ohio State. He also coached for the Providence Steamrollers when we are looking forward to the Cleveland Steamrollers and the Providence Browns. How interesting is that? So James Harold Sleepy Jim Crowley, this is definitely the most unsettling character, I'd say. Look, he went out in 86, right on the 84 mark. Definitely something up with this guy. I mean, Four Horsemen wasn't a clue. His name's Sleepy Jim Crowley. That's super, super sketchy. And let's see, he was the last living member of the Four Horsemen. Of course he was. And made it 2 weeks into 1986 to get his 84. There you go. And let's see. So Notre Dame has a coach that coached the Skins. Lawrence Kuhariuk. He also coached the Eagles, though. Coach thinks this guy is actually an Eagles guy. He thinks that, luckily, this isn't some sort of Skins ritual. He thinks this guy actually belongs to the Eagles. He's from South Bend. Okay, and hopefully that connection with us thinking the Eagles are going down means you're not, but I don't know. He's with the both, like, at the same amount of time. But you got to see, like, this says something specifically. Yeah, okay, check this out. So he's, like, going through chemo, all that sort of stuff. The Eagles play in their first Super Bowl the same day this dude dies. Their former coach. Get the fuck out of here, dude. No way you believe that shit. Let's see. They had Eddie LeBaron. We've already flagged LeBaron. LeBron. Let's see. Dandy Don. Joseph Don Meredith. One of the original Monday Night Football crew. If you want to learn about the early days of Monday Night Football, Coach recommends the movie Midnight Mayhem with John Turturro. It's hard to find, but it is interesting. Very entertaining. And then, let's see. I don't know what I'm doing here. Oh, yeah, number 17. He was retired by the Mustangs. That's interesting, right? So we want to keep an eye on Meredith. If we want to know how SMU is doing in the future. Look, he stopped in 84. And then, yeah, so he made a joke about Fair Hooker during a Cleveland game. And what do we know? We got a different hooker beating Cleveland in the Super Bowl. Is that weird? This was in 84. And look, Gifford and Theismann, like they're doing it up for that one, whatever that was. Don Shula, Alan Pinkett. Let's see, Alan Jerome Pinkett, 6 seasons with the Oilers. Notre Dame Fighting Irish. That's where Tim Brown popped up. We got Tony Brooks and Ricky Waters. You kidding me? They're on the same team together, Ricky Waters and Tony Brooks. That's so fucking stupid. And then Reggie Brooks. They love their Brooks, don't they? Okay. So they lost to number 1 Oregon there. Mike Sanford Jr. Mike Gunner Sanford. Okay. Let's see. He coached for the Buffaloes, Boise State. Where does he come in for us? Stanford. Yeah, so Sanford coached at Stanford. Is the big joke there. Okay. Van Gorder. Okay. Here's your matchup. Ohio State's won 6 out of 8 all time. And we're on a 6-game winning streak. Man. Anyway. So yeah, we haven't lost since 95. 28. Okay, let's see. Yeah, they haven't touched us since 1936. I mean, I know most people will be saying, like, you're way, way, way good. That's been so long. It's never, in your great-grandparents' lifetime, has never failed. They've done it every single time. But 6 is a really, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's not adding up to me. Am I missing one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's only 7. What am I missing? They play one since, I guess, probably. What was the most recent under? They're definitely missing one there. So what are the 2 before 95? It says they played 6 since 95, so they must have played one more recently than what's on this list. Okay, 23 or 24. All right. Did notice a lot of Ohio State players going down this year. Remember? This could be a ritual to get them there. Got a 68-yard rush there. 35 was billed as the game of the century. 13-12 with like a last-second touchdown, basically. Ended up winning like 18-13. Our Ohio State boys are double-digit favorites. So, if you cannot possibly, because Coach would totally understand this, and I was actually here at first, if you cannot possibly stomach investing in Notre Dame, here's the move. You do exactly what Coach told you, but instead of picking money line, you pick them to cover the spread, and all we got to do is hope for Ohio State to win a nail-biter, and all our picks are good. So if you're greedy and you can't stomach these motherfuckers, you don't want a dime from the Irish, just take them to cover, okay? And, you know, in your mind, say that you just think that Ohio State can win a nail-biter in triple overtime or something, right? You know, no matter how it comes down to it. And then, so they've got spooky connections with the 1993 Orange Bowl, Orange Bowl and the 93 film Rudy. I didn't know Rudy was that recent. I thought it was much older than that because it's basically been around my whole life. But let's see. So yeah, there's 3 names on the board: Riley, Jeter, and Mitch. Coach has flagged Riley. Not good, right? Mitch hits the game winner. I do remember Jeter doing big stuff. Let's see. So Ryan Clark calls out Cam Newton over his constant Notre Dame criticized. This is him on First Take. So Ryan Day's taken up for Notre Dame. We do like that Notre Dame might be the better story for Guardians and Commanders because they're anti-cancel culture. It's hard to say like there's no type of thing. I think it's Notre Dame. Just that speech, man. I'm telling you, I'm betting big on Notre Dame. Like Coach big, right? A few dollars, not crazy, but you get it. Coach has to tell you about this fucking movie. Under the Rainbow. Okay. Oh my God, no, that's only worth if I show you the whole video. We're gonna get back to Under the Rainbow if you've never seen. Okay, so Watson tore his Achilles again. Okay, now this is the type of stuff I'm talking about, right? You cannot get all four of these on a ticket. 2.6 million, they won't pay you that. They cap out around 1.5, right? So, like I said, you look at those bottom three, and assume Stanford's on there too, right? But these are the ones I trust more than Stanford, right? But assume like Stanford's on there too. You just put Notre Dame there, and you keep picking random of the other two and shuffling in there. 50 cent, 50 cent, 50 cent, 50 cent. Max should be like $5. 10 picks at this would be plenty, I would imagine. I haven't done all the combinations in my head, but 10 sounds like enough to do it. And then, let's see, what else we got? This is that channel I told you I thought was interesting, Official Gator 9, talking about why the Jets and the Nets hate each other. It's just the type of stuff I like to watch. Allen Iverson's last game ever was against Derrick Rose. Now, you may be too young to remember why that is notable. But when Allen Iverson was drafted in 1996, it was a time to where I'm almost positive there had not been a single point guard drafted number one since Magic Johnson. And it was just like not a thing you do, right? It was considered like a bad investment, right? Kind of like drafting a running back number one, right? Kind of the same thing, right? So Iverson going number one was a huge deal. It was kind of something I thought I'd never really see again. And now I'm almost positive Derrick Rose went number one overall. And there was like John Wall number one overall too. But he never felt like a true point guard to me. He was more like a two guard, right? So, and then like I'm pretty sure Wall was after, right? So D Rose like broke the point guard curse, like got them like, well, Iverson broke it to begin with. And then, D Rose did it again, right? So I thought it was very interesting. 2 point guards drafted number one overall, right? That's their last game. And then let's see. I had to talk about Dr. J for a second just because Coach wants to go fanboy a little bit here. Coach thinks it's ridiculous that the GOAT argument is always between LeBron and Jordan, and Dr. J is like not even mentioned. Like, I'm not saying I got like a wall of statistics to prove to you that Dr. J was better, but I'm saying like if you use like common sense and stuff, there's definitely an argument. Like, this dude is the reason we care about basketball. Like, Jordan just cashed in at the right time after the Jordan versus Bird, or after the Magic versus Bird phenomenon, the big fad, right? He's just at a perfect place, 3-point line, everything, right? But Dr. J was the man, and he was a way more efficient player. When you look at like a lot of his field goal percentages and stuff, and a lot of those games where he scored like 50 points, he'd be shooting like 70% from the field, right? So he could definitely score. Let's see, we can go past it, but you can see he's got a lot of records that are only exclusive to him. Let's see. Oh, everybody's ragging on Mike Tomlin. I wanted to show you like a visual cue here, but I'm sure I can explain. You'll know what I'm talking about. So like, this is one where like most people probably think this is like a normal channel or whatever. Coach doesn't give him the benefit of the doubt at all. First of all, like everything he says, it's like he's trying to make his voice sound a certain type of way, and Coach doesn't make his voice try to sound a certain type of way. He just talks basically as fast as he can and and try to get it all out. And it's not trying to make it sound pretty or whatever. It's just about the information. I'm not trying to like be a narrator or something. So it's always like they're a narrator reading a script. It's not like they're actually saying anything. So this guy has the narrator voice, and it's like it's very hollow, right? Like there's no any type of emotion or soul behind it, right? This person doesn't have a soul. It's an NPC, right? So the one thing that really gives it away is like they'll have like all these graphics on the screen. It's like stupid stuff like you would see on TV, like a CBS logo popping up or whatever. So they get their little logos popping up, and they all do that like and subscribe thing, and it does the ding ding ding, so they Pavlov dog you to hit the subscribe button, right? So Coach never hits you with the stimulus. He's not trying to trick you or calling you into clicking the fucking subscribe button. If you want to click the fucking subscribe button, do it. If not, get the fuck out of here. I don't want your ass here if you don't want to fucking watch my shit. So fuck you. And then which QB is taking their team to the Super Bowl? That would be Marcus Mariota. He's not listed. And then let's see. I love this comment. No Texas believes itself to be the center of the football world, but let me tell you that here in Ohio, we've been doing football a lot longer than you guys in Texas. We helped develop the game. Damn right. And then, I can't believe I didn't get a comment or a fucking screenshot of the name of that video. I'm going to show you the name of this video. Hold on. You should check this one out. This as well. And then, look at that. Hold up. Right there on the left. Let's see. Oh, sorry, whatever, you got it. But yeah, that one's wild. It's all about magic and stuff like that. Coach probably gonna take little clips of it. and screenshot it, or, you know, clip it into a video later. And then, so doing it for the gram, once again, going back to gram, doing stupid stuff for Instagram isn't interesting. So why does Instagram make us do dumb things? And they got some tatted up. God, I hate that I can't say certain words. You know what I want to call this fucking fruit. And then, like, he's got the mouth covered, and first of all, it's a woman, but tatted up, got the mouth covered, got the one eye, got the fucking simp, like, you know, stupid glasses and everything. And, you know, big chin. I don't know. I hate this fucking